Dun 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 dun. Hello. How do you say? Dun 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 dun. Hello. This is TGTV Chapter 1 Fishing. Cut. Hello. This is the first chapter of TGTV Chapter 1. This is Chapter 1 of Chapter 1. Getting started. Now today, I am using a regular top half of a cane pole to go fishing. First, now to go fishing, you need 3 basic items: a rod, a line, and a bait with a hook. Also, another thing you might need is bobbers, so you can say you're doing casting and then keeping it there. You need bobbers to make sure it doesn't go under. And, well, hopefully since I'm not going to go into it, hopefully you know how to tie knots onto the end of the rod. Now, as for the bait, try to choose the best one for the best environment. Say you're doing it at night in murky water, murkish water, or clear water. Make sure when you're doing stuff like that, you choose the right one. The right one for murky or clear water would be a fluorescent lure. Not this one that I'm holding. This one is for daytime and clear. I have one back up there. That is glow in the dark. That one you would use in murkish to clear water. This one you use in clear water in the daytime, or using artificial light and shine it on. Now, as for the bobbers, you would usually want a bobber that is brightly colored, like these two. The one on top, orange and yellow, and the one on the bottom, white and red. Now, as for the hook, it still depends, but the hook is your decision. Just don't make it too big or too small. Things too small of hooks can hardly catch, very small hooks can catch minnows, but it cannot catch pretty much anything bigger than that. A medium-sized hook, as seen here, can catch a variety of things, such as bluegill, and every once in a while the occasional turtle, and stop it for a second. Thank you, we just had a short technical difficulty, or whatever, break. Anyway, about hooks, the medium size, as shown here, are best used in shallow lakes, ponds, all that stuff. Then there's the large hooks, which are used to get large catfish, are used to catch catfish, bass, and some small alligators, if people are allowed to catch them. And then there's extra large hooks, which they use to catch sharks, adult alligators, and the occasional gigantic turtle or gigantic catfish. And that is the end of Chapter 1 of TGTV Fishing. Okay, this is TGTV. This is TGTV Chapter 1, Chapter 1 Fishing, Chapter 2. I think you know what I mean. viewers. Anyway, this is the raw. Like I said in my last show, there is the rod, the line, hook, bait, and bobber if you need the bobber, and you use all that to go fishing. Now, some people look at this. Some people prefer to do this with a cane pole, but other people prefer to do this. Still on it? Some people prefer to do that instead. But then there's something called lures I didn't mention before. That's stuff that you move constantly. You move it constantly, make it look like a real fish. And hopefully you'll get a bite. Cut. Wait, don't cut yet. And now a song for our viewers.
And action.
Now we come back to thank you for waiting for TGTV. TGTV Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 1, Chapter 3 on fishing. The third and last thing is how to take in a fish. Well, there's a fourth one, but that's gonna be next show. Anyway, here's how you get a fish. Say there's a fish on here. Say that my bait was a bit more down. You would pull, and then you 1, pull it, 2, pull easily, then 3, you pull it up and hopefully it'll go over your head and make it have a concussion on whatever's behind you. Then it'll be knocked out so it won't attack you in the face, like slapping you with its tail. Anyway, after you've caught the fish, the first thing you need to do is, once you have a fish on land, the first thing you need to do is get the hook out of its mouth. You either use a pair of pliers and bend it until it will come out, or if it's small or rust easily, you cut off the string, but just leave it in the fish's mouth. Okay. Now we will be taking a mobile tour, real quick. Come on, Apple. And down here are steps like behind us, were things that if you pulled it back far enough, it would cause the fish to have a concussion. Now, up here. This would be the right tool to use. If you need this or this, would be the right tool to use if you had caught multiple fish. If you caught multiple fish, this is for smaller fish, this is for bigger fish. Small fish like big minnows, they're about that big. And this one's for stuff like bass, bluegill, so on and so forth. Both of these are very important. And also, I have a good tackle box that everyone needs. Everyone needs a tackle box to stay in a room, or else they'll almost look like me. Oh! One of my grandmothers recently bought me this lure. It's a thin tube lure with a shiny scale pattern on the reflector. With dots on here. See the colors?
Mm-hmm.
Black, purple, and white with black dots on the bottom. Green and purple plumage with a treble hook on the bottom. Now this will probably work very well in any condition, any environment. And as I talked about before, this is a glow-in-the-dark lure, or bait, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, and this is one of my custom-made lures, or bait. It has a hook. It's made of a safety pin, a hook, a tube bait, and a reflector. I put all of these on the same thing, closed it, and voila. And you hook it right through there or through here. And also, and here's the last thing. One, I have a few things to say last. One, always use either pliers. See it? Use either pliers, hedge trimmers, or scissors around the cut line, and the pliers can also secure weights. 2, be careful and never run with stuff like hedge clippers. Those could actually cut your finger off. Not like scissors. Scissors can give you a cut. This can cut your finger off. And thirdly, fish safely and you'll go very far. Oh, and RuneScape is a good place to go to. You can get up your fishing level very good and quickly. Okay. This that my cameraman is pointing at, this would be one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It would be a tree trying to grow on a patch of soil that fell off of the bank. To me, that's one of the weirdest phenomenons that I've seen in my lifetime. It'd be really weird, but funny, if there's a tree floating on a giant block of mud. Anyway, now to go back to